What's up, guys? Today we will be learning how to make this psychedelic... No, I'm just kidding. We will be learning how to make a two-part reusable, non-toxic mold. And the reason why I'm making this mold is to repair this statue behind me. The tooth broke off. The previous owner lost the tooth or threw it out, and I have to make a replacement tooth for him. So I'm gonna show you how I'm doing it. Let's go. All right, so I will be repairing the statue by making a quick mold with this Japanese mold making material. This stuff is called Oyumaru, and you can boil it and reuse it if you make a mistake and remake the mold. And I got this off Amazon. It was about $10. And what you have to do is boil water and put however many of these sticks you need to create the size mold in the boiling water for 3 minutes. Set a timer, and then you take it out and you create a mold. And I'll show you that right now. All right, so once it comes to a rolling boil, you're gonna take however many sticks you need and place them in the water. I'm making a two-part mold, so I'm gonna take about 4 sticks because half of my mold will probably be about that thick anyway. So you just drop them in the water and set a 3-minute timer. Alright, so after 3 minutes, after moving around with a fork a little bit and just making sure it really gets in there and melts, it's going to look like this and be a little pliable. And all you have to do is take it out. Put it on paper towel, dry it off, and it'll be nice and pliable to make your mold. The only reason I have gloves on, this is non-toxic, is because I don't want to leave fingerprint marks in my mold. So I'm just kneading it up real quick, and I'm going to take it, and now I'm going to mold half my tooth because I'm going to make a two-part mold. So I'm going to get the one half done, and then I will wait for it to dry, and then I will boil some more and make the other half in a different color so I can see the two halves. Make sure to leave enough wall space on your mold so that way it's a thicker mold and you don't have, you know, super thin and there's no rips or tears or anything like that. Essentially, it's just moldable silicone, and this will cool down within 10-15 minutes, and I'll be ready to do the other half. And it will not stick to anything. It won't even stick to itself, so you don't have to worry about that. Well, I mean, it'll stick to itself, but it won't stick to itself once it's hard and dry. Okay, now I'll just let it get hard. All right, and now I'm going to drop the second half of my mold in. Just like macaroni. All right, so now we're going to take the other half out again. Fork, plate with a paper towel, dry off the water. Then we will go mold it. Let's go. It doesn't stick. I'm just paranoid. Let's go mold! And the reason why I'm making this mold is because this tooth is broken and I bought it like that and they were missing the tooth. So I'm going to cast my own. So now you take your second part of your mold, and as you can see, it's very pliable, which is good. That's exactly what you want. And I purposely chose 2 different colors so I can see the 2 halves of my mold. And you're just gonna, still a little wet, which is fine. It's just hotter when it's, you know, hot water on it. But I'll take it now, and I will make the second half of the mold. And make sure to push in. And I'm squeezing really hard now so it captures all those details on this statue. And making sure I got every single piece. And with the two-part mold, I'll be able to put epoxy sculpt on the one half, then epoxy sculpt in the other half, sandwich them together, and let dry overnight. I'll have an epoxy sculpt tooth. You can also pour resin, but I'm gonna go with the epoxy sculpt. And there's my beautiful mold. Two pieces. You have the bluey green teal on the one side, and the other side you have the pink mold. And yeah, I'm just gonna let that dry now for about probably half an hour. And if you were to make a mold like this on something that you can move around, you can take this and run underneath cold water and it'll help cure it faster to make it hard. But this thing is huge and heavy, so we're just gonna let it air, cure, and get hard, and it'll take about half an hour. All right, we'll be back. All right, so now that the mold is dry and has cured and has gotten hard, you can take it apart. Now I've already done this, so it's a little easier, but it was a little harder to pull apart than in this video. But you take it apart like that, essentially. You have your two pieces, okay? So you can see in there, it captured all the details. There's a little bit of epoxy sculpt in there, dried up, because I already did this, and I didn't record it, of course. But you have your two pieces, and it captures all the details. And you will mix your epoxy sculpt, part A and part B. And you mix it together, and you're basically going to spread it in the negative space of the molds, in here and in here, and make sure it gets all the way down there if you have an object like this. And then what I did was I put them on this half and this half, then I sandwiched them back together. Then I made sure to put 2 rubber bands around my mold. So that way it stayed real nice. And then I just took a little more epoxy sculpt and started like compacting it in like this to make sure, packing it in and getting all the details and filling all the crevices. And then you just take the rubber bands off, you take your mold apart, and I got this replacement tooth. Now I'm gonna cut all this bottom part off because I don't need that, that's useless. I just have to Dremel some flashing a little bit here, and then smooth out a little here with some sandpaper because it kind of came out on the sides. But it'll be a perfect copy of that to repair this statue. But once I do the flashing and sand it a little and paint it, it's perfect. All right, and after some light sanding done in the garage, the tooth is 100% ready for paint. And this is what it's gonna look like once it's all glued in. Perfect replica of this tooth. Simple, easy, inexpensive, and non-toxic. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like it. Feel free to comment below on any questions about this process, painting, or cosplay in general. As always, take care.